In this great land, we cling to a long and glorious heritage of liberty and equal rights for all. From the beginning of our great nation, these lofty ideals have been illustrated in founding documents such as the United States Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yet time and again through our nation's history, struggles have arisen to protect these rights. For example, the Civil War contested the issue of slavery, and the Civil Rights Movement of the 1950s and 60s sought to gain equal rights for African Americans. Even today, a controversy often compared to these past struggles rocks our nation, the issue of abortion. As arguments and accusations fly back and forth, confusion arises as to what the abortion debate is really all about. The arguments of this debate stem from the different answers to three main questions. First of all, is the unborn fetus an individual person or part of the woman's body? Second of all, which is most important, the woman's freedom or responsibility? And third, whose rights are at stake in this debate, those of the woman or those of the fetus? Yet even these questions do not quite reach the heart of the controversy. The heart of the issue begins with a simple question: when does life begin? Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart recognizes as he questioned the pro-abortion counsel for Roe in Roe v. Wade. If it were established that an unborn fetus is a person within the protection of the 14th Amendment, you would have almost an impossible case here, would you not? To which the counsel replied, I would have a very difficult case. Thus we see that the fundamental difference between the pro-abortion and anti-abortion positions is their answer to when life begins. Medical science has questioned and sought the answer to when life begins and come up with a single certain answer. For example, Ashley Montague, a geneticist and professor at Harvard and Rutgers University who is unsympathetic to the anti-abortion cause, testified before the United States Senate Judiciary Committee saying, the basic fact is simple. Life begins not at birth, but at conception. After hearing Montague and many other scientific and medical professionals speak on when life begins, the Senate Judiciary Committee stated, quote, physicians, biologists, and other scientists agree that conception marks the beginning of the life of a human being, a being that is alive and a member of the human species. There is overwhelming agreement on this point in countless medical, biological, and scientific writings. Unquote. Those who oppose abortion not only decry the death of the child, but also protest the physical and psychological harm done to the mother during the procedure. According to world-renowned abortionist Dr. Warren Hearn, quote, in medical practice there are few surgical procedures given so little attention and so underrated in its potential hazards as abortion. It is a commonly held view that complications are inevitable. Unquote. Some of these inevitable complications include tubal pregnancies, miscarriages of future pregnancies, increased risk of breast cancer, infections, recurrent dreams of the abortion experience, depression, memory impairment, and substance abuse. Research accomplished by the British Medical Journal, the Elliott Institute, and the University of Minnesota also shows that suicidal impulses are much higher among women who have had abortions. Clearly, the risks associated with abortion substantially threaten the health and happiness of the women involved. Abortion advocates argue that the unborn fetus is not a living human person, but rather merely an extension of the woman's body. Pro-abortion philosopher Mortimer Adler stated that the unborn is, quote, a part of the mother's body in the same sense that an individual's arm or leg is part of a living organism, unquote. However, since nearly 50% of the time the unborn fetus is a male, this would require nearly half of all pregnant women to be simultaneously male and female. Furthermore, regardless of the fetus's gender, the mother would be required to possess 2 heads, 2 arms, 4 legs, 4 arms, 20 toes, etc. throughout the duration of her pregnancy. In addition, the simple fact that the fetus has distinctive DNA from that of its mother proves that it is an individual human being. Finally, the difference in blood type is significant. Often the fetus has a different blood type from that of the mother, and because the blood of the fetus and the mother never mixes, the body's normal rejection of a different blood type or organ of a different blood type does not occur. Therefore, any assertion that the fetus is not an independent human being proves scientifically and logically inaccurate. Furthermore, there's a disturbing disconnect between the advocacy of abortion and the supposed interest in promoting sexual responsibility. If sexual responsibility is so important to those who advocate abortion, why indeed do they advocate a procedure which helps people, which eliminates the motivation to act responsibly by providing a way out of the consequences of recklessness? Many would ask, what if the woman is a victim of rape or incest? I, along with many other Americans, have struggled with this issue. Yet, one can only see that the consequences of abortion, medically and emotionally, can only add to the trauma experienced from rape. Furthermore, the child did not rape the mother, the rapist did. And why would we advocate the death penalty, capital punishment, for the child rather than the actual perpetrator? Another question would be as to the health or the life of the mother. What if that is in danger? Should abortion be accepted? The answer is no, because first of all, the potential serious health problems and harm caused by abortion may be worse than the physical condition the mother is currently in. Furthermore, in cases where the life of the mother is actually in danger, the only morally acceptable option to take is that every effort be made that the lives of both the mother and the child be preserved, as both are equally precious. In 1973, the Supreme Court effectively eliminated the equal rights of unborn Americans, thereby threatening not only the lives of millions of unborn children, but also the very foundations of our nation. In the words of President Ronald Reagan, our nation cannot continue down the path of abortion, so radically at odds with our history, our heritage, and our concepts of justice. This sacred legacy and the well-being of our country demand that protection of the innocents must be guaranteed and that the personhood of the unborn be declared and defended throughout our land.